All right, ladies and gentlemen, totally enjoyed the show, guys. Now, I can't say this for all the people that watch my live or all the people that love me. I can't say this for every single one. But a lot of people that I know right now are up and coming stars and starlets, right? Because I'm up and coming. And I'm not saying, I don't know them necessarily that well. I mean, they're just on my channel that I watch. They're more like acquaintances, but I support them and want them to do well. It's like YouTuber, TikTok friends, right? Your friends. Your real friends are people that you know in person that you can hang out with, but your TikTok and YouTube friends are just basically there to guide you and help you, and you want to help them. For me, I think it's very important to guide people and to help people get over depressed times and different things. So for me, that's important, right? But in general, I think, when you have real friends, they're different than your YouTube or TikTok friends, but your YouTube or TikTok friends are there because you support them and you want them to do well. Like for me, my YouTube and TikTok friends are very important because I want to encourage them to be their best selves. And some of them, like I said, some of you guys are big stars in the making. Like so I won't mention any names, but some people that I see are really talented and really, really good. And even ones that don't seem super, super talented or whatever, that might not be like typically what you would think of as celebrity, or up and coming. Like some of you guys are, I see your channels, right? I watch your channels. And some of you guys are like, and even if you're not like majorly up and coming, like there are people that have like even if you have like 3,000 subscribers, good on you, right? Because that takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort. And like getting to 3,000 subscribers is a feat in of itself, right? Really important to recognize that you are somewhere at that point. Now remember that getting to 1,000 followers too, you get to do lives, right? And live people will tip you and everything. So, when you see someone, like when I was younger on these platforms, I would see people with a huge following and I would think, oh my God, like they're doing so well, how are they? No, I'm never going to catch up to them. I'm never going to this and that, right? But you know what? Some of you guys maybe you have like 1,000 followers and then you get more than me later, right? You know what I mean? So it really doesn't matter how many followers you have, as long as this is your true passion and you know realistically you're going to make it. Now remember guys, that the best people that are talented and really, really good on YouTube and TikTok do have difficulty because a lot of people will criticize them. Like for me, I've gotten so much criticism because I'm very up and coming and very, very good. And even people that are close to me say things like, don't start a merch store, don't do this, don't do that. I'm obviously not going to mention names, right? But people that have been close to me said, don't do this, don't do that, right? And I won't mention names, obviously, that's not important. I'm sure they meant it in a way that is different than what I see it as, but in general, I've been told, don't do a merch store, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. You're not doing well, your makeup, you're this, you're that. And I mean, my real fans are like, holy, your makeup is like so good, I want to do your makeup look. Or your merch is going to sell like crazy, you're going to be one of the top stars in the world. But when you have people that you know that are just like, oh, don't do this, you think to yourself, first of all, you kind of wonder like, how is that even something that people would do? But it happens, and so that's okay, obviously. It's okay, but I mean, the point of the matter is, don't give up, right? Some people will say to you, you're not this, you're not that, or you're not whatever. And so, I mean, for me, I just think, I don't know how my merch is going to do, but I'm certain it's going to do exceptionally well. But yes, so when you get told these things, sometimes you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize people thought this way, or whatever, or you're just surprised. And for me, I'm very surprised, right? Because I just assume people think I'm all going to do well because I look so good. But anyway, and so I'm so talented too. But yeah, so when you are someone that's creating or doing something on here, you might be the biggest star. So like, look at me, guys. I mean, you guys can, people that know my worth are like, you are the it thing in Hollywood coming up soon, right? People can see that, but that doesn't mean you don't have friends or people that you know that are going to tell you that you can't do it, or that you're not going to be exceptional, or that you're not going to whatever, right? I mean, it's very, very sad that happens, and it's very much like, why does it happen? But it does, right? So if you are out there looking at me thinking, you know, oh my God, your merch store is fantastic, I'm thinking it's going to be fantastic, I don't know why people would say that to you. And you know, I mean, you're wondering why people would say that to me. Yes, it happens to me, right? And then that's why I'm so encouraging people, because I know, like for me, I have confidence like crazy, right? Like I'm very confident. But I mean, that confidence does come with being a bit of a rebel when people say negative things, right? I've always been very good looking, so I've had people say the opposite of what I'm like, right? A lot of times throughout my life, like people would say, oh, you're not good looking, or oh, you're this, or oh, you're that. And so people would be like, you're not good looking, you're not this, you're not that. And I'm like, okay, obviously I am, right? But people just say like all these silly things, and you're like, okay, like really? Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. You guys are phenom, darling, phenom. But yeah, remember, guys, if someone's the biggest stars or starts to be, and even like in Hollywood, like you should see, like you watch. Okay, this is something that I want you guys to watch. All right, watch mean tweets on YouTube. All right, or maybe they have them on TikTok too. Watch mean tweets from celebrities. Okay, and then you see the comments that some people say, and you're like, my goodness, like that's a celebrity. They're doing really well. They have millions of dollars for their talents and their abilities, you know. And here you see the comment, they're like, it's funny, they're like, you know, they'll say something like, you have bad teeth, or you smell, or like the craziest comments, and you're like, okay, this is like someone that's really well known as a Hollywood star, and they're getting these comments, right? And you're like, okay, you know, like, you're like, obviously that person is, and you're like, well, if they get those comments, then of course people like us, I'm like a celebrity, I will be a celebrity, but I'm just up and coming, I'm not famous yet. Like, I'm famous enough, but I'm not super, super famous yet. I'm doing quite well, I have viral videos, but I mean, yeah, so you know, you see that and you think, oh, you know, well, you'll watch that and you'll be like, oh, that makes sense. You're just like, oh my God, like, these are huge celebrities with a lot of money and a lot of power and like gorgeous looks and super talents, and they're getting these comments. You're like, okay, that makes sense that sometimes people say negative things, people that are really, really good, right? Just put yourself in the celebrity's position, right? Like you get the comments that are similar to those celebrities, you're like, okay, obviously something's up. Bye guys.